Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. American things that are strangely popular elsewhere. What things you might think, you know what I'm saying?
When I was seeing the title, I was like, American things? What?
Like, what are we deeming to be American things? That's a good one, though.
Like, what are we... I don't know. I don't think about stuff like that.
I
don't know. So, I may learn something.
All right. So, with that being said, man, before we get into this one, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go, man. You want to first support? All you have to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoy today's video. Visuals.
Like it with a thumbs up.
Yo, queued up now. All right. I don't know why I've been saying enjoy.
Just say that. It's cute. Wait,
Bro, I don't have no speech impediment.
So?
Do I sound like my twice into you? That's some type of thing he do. No, so let's go.
Today I'm going to tell you about some little America sports that have flung off from this country, gone into other ones, propagated, and flourished in surprising ways, just like the mold in the salsa container I found in my fridge earlier. In other words, I'm going to tell you about some American things that have a strangely strong following in other countries. We're going to skip over some of the more commonly known ones, like Kraft mac and cheese in Canada, Spam anywhere the American military has had a big presence, or Raytheon in Israel. Let's move on to our first topic, which is a little bit trashy. One night, I was sitting at home, I was watching an American and a Welshman harass a Japanese vending machine, and I saw something that caught my eye. See, they pulled out this little trinket that looked like a raccoon, and at the top it said Rascal. When I saw that, I thought that is a very specific piece of English that they've used on this Japanese product. I wonder if this has anything to do with the book I was forced to read in 4th grade. It turns out that it has everything to do with that book. The book I am referencing is Rascal, a memoir of a better era by Sterling North, which came out in 1963 originally. A quick synopsis of this book is it's about the author growing up in Wisconsin in the early 1900s, specifically during World War I, and at some point he finds a baby raccoon and tries to keep it as a pet, which doesn't go well. And you may be sitting there thinking, what does this have to do with Japan? Well, I'm getting to that, calm down. In 1977, this book was turned into an anime, and it did very well and turned Rascal into a beloved character there. It was a somewhat common thing in this time period for anime to be made out of Western books. Another Western book with a weird amount of popularity in Japan is Anne of Green Gables, which got an anime a few years after Rascal. We don't actually care about that today though, because Anne of Green Gables is Canadian, and they won't share their Timbits with me. There's a big downside to Rascal's popularity in Japan though. The issue is that people in Japan watch this story about how awful of an idea it is to have a pet raccoon, and then imported raccoons to be their pets. The inevitable then happened, which is the raccoons got out because they have hands. The raccoons then proceeded to damage the local environment, including the wildlife, including outcompeting the tanuki, also known as the raccoon dog, because it's like a raccoon with no hands. I also want you to take a moment to consider what it would be like for the first tanuki to see a raccoon. Imagine you're a tanuki walking around the Japanese woods, and you see another tanuki, but it's a little weird. And then it stands up and it's holding things in its hands. It kind of be like the first scene in Men in Black where the guy...
That is crazy, though, if you think about it.
I'd be like...
Cuz?
How you get hands and I got
Cousin! Be like, bitch, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Weird. And then it stands up and it's holding things in its hands. It kind of be like the first scene in Men in Black where the guy comes in out of the field, but the alien's inside him, and he starts like moving weird, but for a tanuki. Much to the relief of this panicked tanuki, the Japanese government is trying to exterminate the raccoons. The only issue is they're having about as much success as Australia's had with their wars with the emus, the rabbits, and the cane toads. Japanese enthusiasm for Rascal has been waning of late. It's largely just confined to like knickknacks and stickers and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like the Japanese version of Garfield at this point. The only real difference being it's a bit less problematic to have a fat orange cat in your house than to have a raccoon running around your countryside destroying it. Next up, we're going to talk about your grandma's car.
Would you really rather have a Buick?
Buick is a car brand that many people are surprised is still alive. It feels like Buick should have shuffled off its mortal coil back in the 2000s with Pontiac, Saturn, Oldsmobile, but it didn't, and let me tell you why. While Buick only sold about 103,000 cars in the US in 2022, It sold 677,000 cars in China. That same year, the entire Ford F-Series of pickups, ranging from the electric Ford Lightning all the way up to the big F-650, which is used for like box trucks and stuff, it only sold 653,000 units in the US. Not only is China buying up Buicks like hotcakes, they have models we don't get here in the US. See, Buick doesn't even make cars in the US anymore. They just have 3 slightly different crossovers, including one that I've never seen before called the Invista, which kind of looks like they're trying to make a knockoff of the Lamborghini Urus, kind of like Ford used to make the Fusion look like a knockoff of the Aston Martins from the time. But if we go ahead and hop on over to the Chinese site for Buick, we see that they still make sedans, like the LaCrosse and the Regal. They also make minivans, including this one that's just called the Century, which used to be kind of a shitty car. But over there, it's the swaggiest ass minivan I've ever seen. It has the Rolls Royce roof with the stars in it. After hearing all this, you may be thinking, why? In China, Buick has this perception of being the car that you're in if you're important. And a big part of this is actually why they're your grandma's car in the US. A lot of Chinese government officials rode around in Buicks, and a big part of this is their big comfy car.
That's true though. Back in the day, Buicks
You
were
did
like a
associate.
little. Buicks were like, you know what I'm saying, a little older wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be like, oh, she got that little old. She a little older. She got a nice little Buick. You know what I'm saying? Ain't had that many miles on it, and they kept it up.
Yeah, kept it up.
You be like, man, come on,
Body
it's
always
still
strong.
clean. Look like you just got this. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna go down there to the
I go to the
post
office.
Go to the post office, do my little grocery
And
run in
I go
the
on back
morning,
home.
and I might go to the Hardee's and get a breakfast biscuit, but I don't eat in my car. I wait till I get home and I pop it back in the microwave, heat it up a little bit, and I have my morning coffee and my good old sausage and biscuit. With a couple of hash browns, small hash browns. You don't need that many, but you just need a little bit. For real though.
No, but for real, because my grandma used to have one.
But Buick and Cadillacs,
Yeah.
those used to be, oh, you got some money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, soon as somebody gets some money, I gotta get me a Mercedes. Oh, I gotta get me. And half of y'all don't have enough money for
For
that.
upkeep, yep.
And then I'm just, but like,
Or for the cars, but
that's what I was really talking about those.
But anyway, this new information to me because I didn't know that.
But Cadillac and Buick used to be like, I wish times will go back to Cadillac and like stuff like that. Was even Lexus back in the day. Be like, oh, you got a Lexus? Now folks look, oh, Lexus. I'm like, damn, we ain't got like. What happened?
Especially, you know, that post I had showed you, or when I showed you, I told you about that day when people found that, because a lot of people don't know,
like the luxury brand of certain
other brand, yeah, and they were like, oh, so I'm like, okay, so now it's not important because you know this information.
And then, or back in the day, people, you see somebody pulled up in a Lincoln Navigator, you be like, damn, y'all got some money for a Lincoln Navigator. That was luxury, bro. Now it's like,
yeah,
you pull up with a Buick, they be like, you got that old ass car.
That's crazy.
You got that old, don't about drive no Buick no more.
What you driving?
Man, I got that new Sky Pattern.
Bro,
That you
anyway.
gonna wreck in about a year or two from now. Hopefully make it there.
But they're not as flashy as like a Mercedes or a Rolls or a Cadillac. However, the trend of Chinese officials riding around in Buicks is starting to wane. The quality of Chinese cars has improved drastically, which leads to Chinese officials wanting to ride in them because that looks good because they're supporting a local company, which is fair for them to do anyways. The politicians in major car producing countries are usually only seen in domestic cars. Having said that, I did get a really funny image in my head of Joe Biden driving up to the White House in an R34. Here is my artistic representation of it. With that said, let's move on to something with even crunchier skin than Joe Biden. You're probably sitting there thinking that I'm going to tell you about KFC in Japan and about how they buy it on Christmas and everything. But I'm not. I'm not going to talk about that for 2 reasons. First of all the Japan YouTubers have already beat that dead horse into Tesco lasagna. And 2, I don't want this to be too Japan heavy. Instead, what we're talking about is some KFC sales numbers that I found interesting. About 20.
They say the best KFC is in Jamaica. They say Jamaica got the best KFC.
Oh.
I'm like, in America, we kind of shit on KFC now. Like now, lately, I see people really shit on KFC. You either hear people talk, and I be like, why you throwing KFC and Raising Cane even in the same? You can't get nothing but chicken tender from Raising Cane.
Yeah.
They can't give you no chicken patty, no breast, no leg, no thigh. Like, come on, no wing. Come on now. Raising Cane, that's chicken tender. Man, they ain't even in the conversation. They got to catch up with Chick-fil-A first. But you know what I'm saying? They're like Jollibee.
Yeah.
Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. I'm like, then when folks bring up KFC, they like the shit on it. But the world loves KFC. They think KFC is like the staple for chicken when it comes down to America.
Yeah.
Because what's it, 11? How many herbs and spices?
I don't know.
I'm talking about the KFC recipe. That's an amount. I can't remember.
I have
back in the
no
days.
clue.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know
Is it
the
11,
amount.
7? I don't know. I ain't had KFC since
I
they
haven't
took.
I haven't had KFC in a while though.
It's
seriously.
been years.
But-
No, we had it up here a couple times.
Yeah, we've had it up here, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
This to be too Japan heavy. Instead, what we're talking about is some KFC sales numbers that I found interesting. About 25% of KFC sales comes from China, which is not surprising to me. Fried chicken's also a thing in China. They're about a sixth of the world's population, and I had previously heard that the Chinese KFC did a collab with Genshin Impact. They are also not our focus. After that, about 15% of their sales comes from the US, which is also not surprising. It's from here. No, the thing I have an issue with is the next two countries on the list. What on earth is wrong with you, United Kingdom and Australia? How are you each responsible for 7% of their sales? Australia, you have a smaller population than Texas, and somehow you are eating almost half as much chicken as the entire United States? And UK people, how can you be out here talking up your Nando's, your fish and chips, your wonderful Indian food,
Hey.
and then you're gobbling the Colonel's meat with this veracity?
Hey.
You two need to get it together. Work on yourselves. Next topic.
They do be talking about Nando's like
Specifically, one kind of Disney product. Since the year 1941, 210 million Captain America comics have been sold. In the year 2005, Disney sold 114 million Disney comics. The European viewers watching this are thinking, wow, that's slightly surprising. The American viewers are thinking, what the fuck is a Disney comic? You see, although they're basically non-existent in the United States, comic books starring Disney characters like Donald and Mickey are extremely popular in Europe. This started out because in the 50s, Disney sold off the rights to a lot of their characters to be used in comics in Europe because they didn't really care about the market and it was an easy way to make more money. Donald Duck is very popular in the strange grouping of all the Nordic countries plus Italy. Mickey Mouse comics are very popular in Germany, confirming my suspicion that Mickey Mouse is in fact the David Hasselhoff of rodents. The German Mickey Mouse comic book has sold over 1 billion copies since 1951. A few years ago, IDW tried publishing some of these European-made comic books in the US with English translations, and they stopped shortly after because no one bought them. This one kind of stands out from the others in this video. The others, it's kind of like, why is this so popular somewhere else that's not America? This one, it's, why is this not popular in America? After all, America is the home of Disney. There's tons of Disney adults. It's permeated our culture to the point that it almost got away with putting a theme park next to one of the major Civil War battlegrounds, and yet they cannot sell a single comic book here. Next up is probably the most unexpected.
Like, are Americans really even into comic book? I understand some people are, but for a mass variety of people, especially nowadays, kids ain't, nah.
Oh, yeah.
Even our generation, you saw some people into comics, but it was very rare. You know what I'm saying? And as you, over time, if you notice, comic book sales, to me, have dropped. Like, because I don't see people as interested like they used to be.
Well, I guess with that, I can't really say because I don't really know, like, numbers.
We used to have a little comic book stand, like, right down the road. And
yeah,
they
I said I
have
don't
that no
know
more.
numbers and stuff like that
Yeah.
to say if it's dropped or not. But yeah, we did, and it did close down. Wonder what
thought
that was about.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. I
Yeah.
wanted to go in there one day. I just never stopped. And it was just at a weird location. It was
I
like
think it's a nice
isolated. It
location.
was an isolated location. Now they done turned it into a little antique shop type
I'm
shit.
gonna go there one day. Like they got some good stuff.
Yeah, because you see the cars that be parked up along the side of the road. They can't do it now because they turned that into an actual like. They can't park on the side like that no more. But
Anyway,
they used to.
but I do wonder, like, why? Like
It's-
with this, like with the Disney, why it probably didn't do as well? Maybe because, like what you said, because it was like,
Or they just.
it
not-
is a big thing, like Disney
but
itself.
but also, we don't look at like Disney's for like comics.
I think, yeah.
We're so used to like Mickey Mouse Club and like the nostalgia factor of it. Like, I don't think people would. I think if they had done it in the beginning, it would
I
work.
don't know.
But after so long not having something like that, I don't think people would really be interested. Unless you're just one of those like over the top like supporters of Mickey Mouse and
Just anything.
That whole look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The clubhouse, all them joints. Now, maybe so. That's crazy, though.
Good entry on this list. I told you it's unexpected. You see, there are communities made up of the descendants of Confederate sympathizers. In Brazil, during the Reconstruction period after the Civil War, there were a lot of disgruntled Southerners, and a lot of those disgruntled Southerners knew how to run cash crop plantations. Emperor Pedro II of Brazil saw this as an opportunity and said, "Come to Brazil, I'll give you some cheap land to farm on." It also helped that Brazil still had legal slavery. About 20,000 Southerners immigrated, and most of them settled in the state of Sao Paulo. A lot of them focused around the modern-day cities of Santa Barbara de Oeste and Americana. Santa Barbara de Oeste is actually believed to have the first Protestant cemetery and church built in Brazil because of these immigrants. In 1972, the governor of Georgia, Jimmy Carter, and his wife Rosalind Carter visited Santa Barbara de Oeste. They visited the cemetery on the strip because Rosalind Carter went and laid flowers at her great-uncle's grave, who was one of the original Confederados. I want to be clear here, it's not like if you go to the state of Sao Paulo and take a wrong turn, you end up in the Candyland plantation from Django Unchained. The descendants of the Confederados have largely assimilated into Brazilian culture. They just have some of the traditions that they've kept alive. For instance, some southern crops are grown in the area, like pecans and watermelons. Some people make southern food down there, like southern-style fried chicken, or even chess pie. For those of you who do not know what chess pie is, it is pecan pie, hold the pecans. I would argue that chess pie is a low-tier pie, below even just chocolate pudding pie.
Hold on, bitch.
I'm appalled.
Oh, God. Unless you have a...
I guess it maybe just depends on...
It depends on your sweet tooth. It really depends on... Now, I say this. You ain't no chess pie person anyway.
Yeah, not the...
You like chess squares.
I'm like, well, it's all the same.
It's very much the same.
It's the same.
Chess squares to me is a little bit
ratio.
better. Chess squares are a little bit better.
I like... Because I think it's the ratio for me because it's not too much.
Yeah. Because chess pie, it can
but
be
I'm
kinda,
still getting the taste. And the taste is just...
the chess pie, one reason why I say I doubt you will like, you a texture person. You ain't gonna
but
like
I
the
still
texture of the
getting
chess
the
pie.
taste.
But, and like what he said, to be honest, I've had a taste of a pecan pie or pecan pie or however you want to say. It's the same pie, just without the nuts in it.
Mm.
And I'm just like, what the? So who introduced the nuts to the pie? Because
I like the nuts, but
be
yeah.
like, give me a pecan pie, but hold a pecan, bitch. Like you might heard a lot of shit.
Be quiet, please.
Slap me a pie, but hold a pecan. You figure it out, ho.
Pecan.
But they fired up. Not this, but the chess pie. Chess pie is actually good depending on the level of sweetness.
Hold the pecans. I would argue that chess pie is a low-tier pie, below even just chocolate pudding pie, and nowhere near higher-tier pies like pumpkin.
Okay, he got pumpkin up there. He got key lime pie. Now
I love me some key lime pie.
I love me some pumpkin pie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you are a sweet potato pie person, trust and believe you will like pumpkin pie. Very much similar. And then your cheesecake, look, and that look like baked cheesecake. Yeah. That look like fresh cheese. See, I never had.
My favorite right there.
I've never had like fresh baked cheesecake. I think it would be fire. Only cheesecake type I'd have had was like store bought.
Oh.
And I'm just like, but I do like a good key lime pie. I don't know what this is.
Some type of chocolate something, maybe. I don't know.
Pecan fudge, key lime, or cheesecake, which is a pie because it is filling in a crust and not a glutinous structure. Also, every year they hold an event called Festa Confederata. This is like a little festival where some of the men will dress up like Civil War soldiers, some of the women will dress up like Scarlett O'Hara, and they eat American food, and all the proceeds go to preserving the historic buildings. The Confederado descendants have even helped raise money to build a museum of immigration in Santa Barbara do Oeste, which is all about how great immigration has been for Brazil. That's all I got for you today. I hope you had fun.
Crazy, bro. We learned some. Ain't nothing wrong with introducing yourself to some new information about the globe. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We learned some, right? Because that last piece, I'm surprised. I never.
The last piece. Sorry.
The last piece he just went over.
Yeah,
like,
you did. That's new.
That's new for you.
That's new for me.
Why you trying to?
I said that's new information.
No, you said that's new to you. Yeah.
Well, I meant information, but yeah. Anyway.
But I did know KFC is very big globally. I did know that. I think Americans just shit on it for some odd reason. You know, people are very bandwagonish. So one person saying they don't like it. Other
Yeah, I
people
think
do.
and I've noticed that like lately, like if someone's like, okay, this is not cool to eat, or this is not this anymore, this is nasty, everyone just hops on and be like, we don't mess with that no more. We on to something new. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
The comic book thing, I think y'all can keep that. Personally, myself.
Especially since they tried to introduce it and
flopped.
it didn't do well.
And it'll flop probably
So
even
I think
worse
now, and this,
the Buick cars, I do like the Chinese Buick cars though, especially that van. I ain't prone to minivans. If you got a luxury minivan, hey, shout out to the Pacifica owners.
I was about to say you like one of them.
Yeah, shout out to y'all Pacifica owners. I'm not.
That was nice.
Now, if you got a Dodge Caravan, now I look at you a little like you got road rage.
They be, bro. I'm telling you.
Hey, I ain't gonna
once
hold
up
you though.
here,
I ain't gonna hold you.
Dude,
If
and
you ain't
it's mainly.
if you ain't
No, I ain't gonna say
with
that.
the white folk, white women.
I'm gonna say, y'all, up here is mainly the white women that be driving them.
You
And
ain't-
baby, they have road rage.
You ain't never drove one.
I've never
Them
drove
bitches
one.
smooth though.
I'm talking about the.
The Dodge Caravans. I've driven plenty. Them bitches smooth.
Are they? Well, maybe that's why they be driving like that.
Hey,
'Cause child,
they
be like, get
and they
back.
got some little pickup.
I'm telling you, when I see one coming, baby, I get out the way.
And they got
okay?
some pickup
'Cause
to it. You put that bitch, they
Baby,
just smooth,
They be
bro.
riding.
Bro.
Let me get up out your way, sis.
Bro, we used to
'cause-
whip the hoe when I worked at the Big Green.
Yeah,
Bro, we used to.
I
I
bet.
ain't opposed to the minivans.
Maybe
though.
it make you feel like that. Feel like
Yeah.
you gotta drive like
You
that.
put them up
I don't know.
because the gear stick right here. You put them up.
I was like, okay,
Yeah,
honey, come
joke-
flying.
because it picks up like a truck. So you know how a truck you pick it up.
Oh.
Yeah, it picks.
No
very much so
wonder.
similar.
I'd be like, baby, she mad. Let me get up out her way. Honey, she having a bad day.
But that minivan did look luxury. Though.
Nah, that minivan
ain't got
did
the
with
lights in it.
Oh, yeah, with the lights.
And you see the seats.
And baby, you sit her, I can,
Them seats
I can
look
cross
good.
my legs in a child. Don't play with
That's the
me.
Pacifica like that. I'm
Okay.
telling you, bro.
Mhm.
But hey, y'all spell myself. Let us know y'all thoughts.
Please
Let us know if
do.
y'all learned anything new today, man. But as always, I do go with the name DJ Kid and Sis.
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.